sure the mic's hot. Your mic's hot.
I'm Laura Diaz in the Fox 11 newsroom. We are live on foxla.com and Facebook Live. You are looking at a chase in progress right now. Christmas Day here in Southern California, but no holiday from an alleged crime as we watch what we are told by the LAPD is a stolen SUV, a Lexus, one passenger, one driver going north on the 5 freeway, just past Gorman at the 138. If you know this area well, it tends to be wide open, and as you can see right there, it is holiday light today, black and white in hot pursuit. Now, the biggest issue has been lately is that if you get far enough up the 5, what you end up having happen there is that they've been shutting down the Grapevine. But right now, looks to be moving along at a fast clip, was reported to be as high as 70 miles per hour. We are going to stay with this as long as we can. The signal may lessen as we get further up north, but right now, a black and white in hot pursuit. This is a stolen vehicle, according to the LAPD. It started in the Hollywood division. Someone phoned it in. All we know is that there is one driver and one passenger in that vehicle. The good news, not a lot of traffic, so that prevents anybody else from getting into any type of a collision. But you can imagine waking up on Christmas morning only to discover that your vehicle has been taken. We lost the signal there. Now on the 138, the signal is not working right at this second, but we are following this SUV, a Lexus white, moving at a fast clip up the 5. And now on the 138, transition from the 5 to the 138. You wouldn't expect this on Christmas morning, but we are told that it was phoned in earlier out of the LAPD Hollywood division, then picked up by the CHP. So the last time we had that live picture, it showed a black and white in hot pursuit. So we are following along, hoping that this can end peacefully, but you can imagine what it's like to wake up on Christmas Day, Christmas morning, and discover that your vehicle is being stolen. What we know at this hour is that there are 2 people in that vehicle, a passenger and a driver. I can't tell you men or women, but moving along right there on the 138. And when we widened out earlier, we were able to see a black and white. Started at the LAPD Hollywood division, now being followed by the CHP. Normally, this is the road that you would take to go to Bakersfield. Sometimes people take it to go to the snow, to the mountains, especially maybe on a day like Christmas Day. You might want to go up there and frolic in the snow. But this is actually on the 138 right now. Looks to be a newer car. And I used to own one of these a couple of years ago. They tend to be able to go a long ways. They have big fuel engine, and especially if it's a hybrid, you can go for a long way without having to refuel. So we are watching right here live on foxla.com and Facebook Live a pursuit on Southern California freeways. It is the 5 I'm hearing now. I had been told it had transitioned to the 138, but now I'm hearing again that it may be the 5. So we can only speculate as to how fast they're going.
Back north on the 5.
Back north on the 5, I'm being told by Andrew at the assignment desk. We had been told that it was 70 miles per hour at the highest rate, but I think he's going faster than that now. Seems to be in control of the vehicle. We haven't seen too much erratic behavior other than the fact that the vehicle was initially stolen and now moving at this fast pace, headed north on the 5, already went past Castaic, past Gorman. For those of you who know the area, I grew up in the Santa Clarita Valley, so this is north of the Santa Clarita Valley, and will eventually take you to Bakersfield if he stays on it. But right now, moving along at a fast pace, passing other cars, and not having to get too close to other vehicles, and just driving quickly. We see another black and white back there. Now several black and whites as we widened out. I count 4. But so far, not any indication that this person is going to pull over. There's been no attempt at a spike strip. So we're not really sure what the thought is at this point, perhaps hoping that eventually he or she will run out of gas. It's not unusual, though, at the holidays that we do see a spike in crime. It happens a lot. There's a lot of stress and strain at the holidays between families. Sometimes people consume liquor or other illegal substances, and that can create even more stress at the holiday.
So here's what we're hearing. The chopper is going to probably pull out in about 2 minutes. The reason why, it's really getting out of our area, and I may start losing it.
Where are we right now? Okay. Just to those of you who are joining us, this is Laura Diaz, Fox 11. We are reporting live on foxla.com and Facebook Live. We are following what is being described by police as a stolen SUV, a Lexus, a newer car. We are told that the car was stolen out of Hollywood. Initially, the LAPD Hollywood Division was the reporting agency, now being followed by the CHP north on the 5. And we are in Kern County now, so we're going to stay with it as long as we can. You can see several black and whites in hot pursuit. This is the CHP now, getting off of the 5. I'm not sure what this exit is. We just saw a Carl's Jr. go by, but black and whites in hot pursuit, lights and sirens on this Christmas Day. We get no holiday. We get no holiday from crime on Christmas. So now you see those black and whites trying to get the driver of this car to pull over. At least the good news is he seems to be slowing down. Actually, a little bit of a California stop there at that stop sign. So now on surface streets, off of the 5, and this is north of Gorman. Looks to be slowing down a little bit, so perhaps this person is giving a thought about pulling over. Not yet. From what we're able to see, fast food restaurants, this is what they typically just call an area where you can gas up the car, get a quick bite to eat, and then pop right back on the freeway. What we know historically is that people tend to get off in areas that they know. So perhaps this person knows this area off of the 5, or is he back on the freeway?
What's that? He's on the freeway. He's on Gorman Post Road.
Gorman Post Road.
Let me check it out.
Gorman Post Road is what I'm being told.
Post Road.
Gorman Post Road. So it looks like it runs parallel to the freeway. Forgive me for being so rough and ready around here, but we are doing this by the seat of our pants today as we watch this along with you. But as many as 4 black and white, CHP, now the lead agency on this, on a report that was initially called in, LAPD Hollywood Division, stolen vehicle, 1 driver, 1 passenger in a white Lexus, looks to be a newer car. So we don't know where this person is headed at this hour, if he's just trying to elude authorities or if he has an actual destination in mind. The fact that he got off the freeway would indicate to me that he or she might have an idea of where he or she hopes to end up. But this area out here is, it's not heavily populated. So you can drive a long way and not see another car, and thankfully not see another human being, not, pedestrian danger. All of that is diminished when you get into this area where we have wide spaces. So that's what we're watching right now. This is a frontage road that was initially parallel to the 5 freeway that now seems to be traversing through some of the more open country. And we are staying with this as long as we can maintain our live position above it. This is now north of Gorman, and this area wide open. If you stay with it, it could potentially take you all the way to Sacramento if you stay on the 5. But this is Gorman Post Road, and this white SUV driven by a man or a woman with a passenger is still going along at a good clip. We don't know what kind of communication there's been with the CHP and the driver. Usually there are attempts between the lead agency, sometimes several agencies, to reach out to the driver and try to convince them to pull over. Often there is something that occurred prior to the taking of the car, some type of crime. The actual crime itself, of course, the alleged crime is that this car was stolen. Someone did call it in back in the Hollywood area. So we don't know what led up to it. There's usually a backstory, which we find out later.
He went off the road.
Now he is pulling over off the road, slowing down, looks... Okay, we're looking to see how this is going to conclude. Now almost at a dead stop. Not going to outrun these people. The black and white's right behind him. He's pretty much cornered now. We don't know if he knows where he is or perhaps he's lost. Okay, now probably just going about 10, 20 miles per hour. Out in the middle of an agricultural area. Oh, there goes the fence. And people are reacting in the newsroom to the fence being mowed over on this Hollywood, what started out as a Hollywood chase, and could be a scene out of a movie, quite frankly. So here he is now on a dirt road, still going along at a pretty good clip. It's a good thing he's in an SUV and not low to the ground, because I would imagine after the rains we've been having that road is not too even. Okay, now stopping, almost at a stop, wheels turning, mud on the wheels, now encircled by black and white, CHP, maneuvered around them. Well, whoever is behind the wheel apparently is committed to seeing this through. So here we are on a country road on Christmas Day with the police chase going on north of Gorman in the middle of nowhere. And he's now coming to a stop or maybe just having difficulty getting over this rough terrain. Keep in mind, we've had a lot of rain this year. So there's mud, there's debris. And as I'm watching, it looks as though the wheels of his vehicle are spinning and he's not necessarily moving forward when he wants to. I'm sure Lexus right now is watching along with us, seeing how their car performs under less than ideal conditions. So there you have it, what looks to be a newer SUV, white Lexus, that we are told was stolen, now at a stop. Oh, there we go. Tipping over. On this Christmas, the black and whites move in. They think they've had quite enough of this. Wheels spinning on that stolen white SUV. You see the CHP. There they are. They take that protective stance behind the door. They use it as a shield. The person in the car has been stopped not only by the highway patrol car, but by the tree. So far, no movement in that car. We haven't seen anybody attempt to get out. We see the wheels, at least on the right, they were still turning. One would think that they would not be able to get out of that driver's door because of the impact. And you saw that the CHP officer was motioning, making a movement to get out. Now you've got backup, weapons extended. This is all a protective stance, all protocol. Now opening the door for the person or people to get out of that vehicle. Now being pulled out of that vehicle.
This is unusual. They normally don't ever walk up and just...
Right. It is unusual for an officer to go up and open the door like that. We don't know the condition of the people inside now, though. There's one pulled to the ground.
All right, cool. I have doing online streaming.
Is there a second person in the vehicle? Can we still confirm that?
What I heard from the scanners originally was just one person.
Okay. Well, it looks to be just the one who was pulled to the ground. 3 CHP officers right there putting the cuffs on this person and pulling him up.
Awesome.
All right. And you watched it live right here on foxla.com and Facebook Live as we saw a chase that took place on Christmas Day that started in the Hollywood division, LAPD. It was said to be a stolen vehicle. And it took us all the way up the 5 and then off of the 5, north of Gorman, on a road that ran parallel to the freeway, and then eventually took us on country roads. So while it's Christmas Day and we would like everything to be peaceful and merry and bright, crimes still do exist, and they happen. In fact, we actually see a spike in crime many times on Christmas Day. So you are seeing the conclusion of a chase with CHP, now the lead agency, who have put the cuffs on this person who is said to have stolen the white SUV Lexus. Now, we watched as about 4 black and whites were in hot pursuit up the 5, exited off of the 5, and then went onto this frontage road. But they finally, right there, you see the conclusion as that SUV, they did the pit maneuver, he lost control and went straight into the tree. So once that happened, it was all over. There was nothing to do but to give yourself up. So he was pulled out of the vehicle just a couple of minutes ago. You're watching the conclusion right here on foxla.com and Facebook Live, the cuffs on that individual. We will update you later on during our regular broadcast at 5 o'clock when I join Christine Devine. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from the newsroom for Facebook Live and foxla.com.